In the shadowy back alleys of 19th-century America, where luxury met lust and power cloaked itself in perfume, two sisters ruled a kingdom of desire. But beneath their silken sheets and velvet curtains lurked a horror few could imagine. This is the macabre tale of the Everhart sisters, brothel madams, social elites, and cold-blooded serial killers who murdered over 90 women under their roof. Title screen appears with cinematic effect. The macabre history of the Everhart Sisters, the madams who murdered over 90 women in their brothel. Chapter 1. Who were the Everhart sisters? 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, old portraits fade in, perhaps fictional representations of the sisters. Clara and Louise Everhart were born in 1852 and 1854, respectively, into a modest Pennsylvania family. As the Civil War reshaped the American landscape, the sisters learned early that survival meant cunning, and that power could be bought, sold, or seduced. By the 1870s, they moved westward, eventually settling in Kansas City, a bustling hub of vice and opportunity. There they established the Violet Lantern, an upscale brothel that catered to elite businessmen, railroad tycoons, and corrupt politicians. Photos and sketches of 19th-century Kansas City. What started as a place of forbidden pleasure soon became a slaughterhouse cloaked in satin. Chapter 2. A brothel of death. 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. The Everhart sisters were more than just madams, they were manipulators. They lured young women from across the country, promising steady income, safety, and luxury. But many of those women would never be seen again. Reports describe how the sisters ran the brothel like a prison. Girls who disobeyed or tried to escape faced brutal punishments, starvation, beatings, or worse. Several women died under mysterious circumstances, accidental overdoses, suicides, or sudden disappearances. Local authorities rarely investigated. After all, the Everharts had paid well for silence. Archive photos, opium bottles, jail keys, old handwritten coroner's reports. But behind the velvet curtains, a darker truth emerged. Over 90 women were believed to have been murdered in the Violet Lantern between 1874 and 1892. Chapter 3. The method behind the madness. 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Unlike many serial killers, the Everharts didn't kill for pleasure, they killed for profit and power. Girls who became liabilities, threatened to expose them, or simply weren't profitable anymore, vanished. Some were poisoned slowly through tampered food and laudanum-laced drinks. Others were buried in the basement or thrown into the Missouri River under cover of night. Rumors swirled of secret tunnels, blood-stained rooms, and even ritualistic killings, though those remain unverified. Sketch of a floor plan showing hidden chambers. The sisters. Cruelty extended to clients too. Wealthy patrons were blackmailed, robbed, or in rare cases, if they knew too much, eliminated. Chapter 4. Exposure and downfall. 12 o'clock to 16 o'clock. The Everharts' reign ended, not with a bang, but a whisper, thanks to a 16-year-old girl named Eleanor Graves. In 1892, Eleanor escaped the brothel and fled to a local priest, Father Alcott, who documented her injuries and testimonies. Her story caught the attention of journalist Frederick Moon, whose investigation blew the case open. Imaginary old newspaper headline: House of Horror exposed in Kansas City. The police, forced to act, raided the Violet Lantern. They found shallow graves in the cellar, shackles in the attic, and diaries belonging to Clara, some of which contained cryptic entries alluding to the deaths. The sisters were arrested, but the trial was a media circus. Clara maintained innocence, while Louise had a breakdown during proceedings and confessed. In the end, both were sentenced to life in prison. Louise died in 1898 from tuberculosis. Clara, she lived until 1921, unrepentant and utterly cold. Chapter 5. Legacy of Fear. 16 o'clock to 19 o'clock. The Everhart sisters' legacy is a haunting reminder of unchecked power. Their brothel, demolished in 1903, is said to still be haunted with ghost sightings, screams in the night, and cold spots frequently reported. Despite the horror, the Everharts are rarely remembered. Their case was buried likely by those in high places who once paid them for discretion. Ghostly visuals. Overlays of missing persons ads from the 1800s. But the bones speak. The forgotten women, mothers, daughters, dreamers remind us that monsters don't always look like beasts. Sometimes, they wear corsets, pour wine, and smile. Outro. 19 o'clock to 20 o'clock. Slow fade-out music begins. What drives someone to kill not once, but dozens of times? Was it madness, greed, or something far more sinister? The Everhart sisters left behind no remorse, only graves. Closing text over eerie background. Justice came late, but their story will not stay buried. If you found this story chilling, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. We have more dark history episodes coming, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. According to Louise's confession, the first murder happened by accident. In 1874, a 19-year-old girl named Mary Agnes tried to run away after accusing Clara of stealing her savings. In the struggle, Clara pushed her down a staircase. Mary broke her neck and died instantly. Reenactment or animation of dim stairwell, a silhouette falling, panicked. The sisters buried Mary in the cellar and told the other girls she had eloped with a client. When no one came asking questions, something changed. The sisters realized that not only could they get away with murder, they could control through fear. That was the moment the Violet Lantern became a death trap. Chapter 7. The girls who tried to escape. 23 o'clock to 26 minutes and 0 seconds. Most girls stayed silent, too afraid to leave, too ashamed to go back home, but a few dared to flee. One of them was an orphan named Sophie Reed. In 1881, she escaped and ran to the authorities, but when questioned, Clara showed forged contracts and claimed Sophie was a thief. With no family to back her up, Sophie was thrown in jail for 6 months. When she was released, she vanished. Her body was never found. Zoom into faded photo of a young girl in tattered clothing. Another girl, Frances Malloy, was seen screaming from a second-floor window in 1886. Witnesses say she was dragged back inside by Louisa and never seen again. Police dismissed it as a domestic squabble. In total, at least 19 escape attempts were documented. Only one succeeded. Eleanor Grevy. Chapter 8. The Diaries of Clara Everhart. 26 minutes and 0 seconds to 29 minutes and 0 seconds. Pan across faded handwritten pages with dramatic voiceovers during the raid. Authorities found 5 leather-bound journals in Clara's private suite. Most entries were coded filled with floral metaphors and strange Latin phrases, but investigators deciphered enough to uncover what may be direct confessions. Voice actor Clara's voice. The orchid has wilted, disposed of before rot spreads. No more moaning from room 3. Silence is good. Other pages hinted at ritual elements, references to cleansing blood, phases of the moon, and invoking night sisters, though sensationalist media claimed the Everharts were part of a cult. No evidence was ever confirmed. Chapter 9. The Secret Burial Site. 29 minutes and 0 seconds to 32 minutes and 0 seconds. While the brothel's basement revealed 12 shallow graves, locals believed the sisters had another burial site, a hidden grove on the outskirts of Kansas City, known as Devil's Hollow. Legend says Clara would take unruly girls there on moonless nights, returning alone. In 1901, a group of hunters found bones, some belonging to young women, buried beneath a grove of sycamores. Though never officially linked to the Everharts, locals still call it the Orchard of Bones. Drone-like visuals of foggy woods, cut with archival maps. To this day, no full excavation has ever been conducted at Devil's Hollow. Chapter 10. Psychological Profile. 32 minutes and 0 seconds to 35 minutes and 0 seconds. Modern criminologists have since analyzed the sisters' behavior. Clara is believed to have been a narcissistic sociopath, controlling, manipulative, and completely devoid of empathy. Louise, by contrast, showed signs of dependence and guilt, the classic follower in a serial killer duo dynamic. Expert voice forensic psychologist. What made them particularly dangerous was that they hid behind the social invisibility of women at the time. No one expected the madam to be a killer, and they used that to their advantage. Chapter 11. Modern Mysteries. 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 38 minutes and 0 seconds. In recent years, paranormal investigators have flocked to the site of the Violet Lantern, now a parking garage. Many report cold spots, shadow figures, and unexplained screams. In 2018, a construction crew unearthed a rusted box beneath the site containing women's jewelry, buttons, and what appeared to be a lock of human hair wrapped in silk. Police turned it over to the city museum, where it remains unexhibited. There's still secrets buried beneath the city. Chapter 12. A Final Warning. 38 minutes and 0 seconds to 40 minutes and 0 seconds. Low music. Slow zoom into a black and white photo of the Everhart sisters. Clara once wrote in her journal. Voice actor Clara's voice. Girls come and go like breath. What matters is who controls the air. Today, their names are mostly forgotten, sanitized from Kansas City's polished history. But the women they murdered cry out from forgotten graves, from dusty ledgers, from hidden pages of the past. The Everhart sisters didn't just kill, They built a machine of manipulation, pain, and power, and oiled it with blood. So next time you hear the soft sound of heels clicking in an empty hallway, remember, the ghosts of the Violet Lantern may still be walking. Closing credits, 40 minutes and 0 seconds to 41 minutes and 0 seconds. Thank you for watching Dark History Files. If this story shocked you, disturbed you, or haunted your thoughts, help us bring more truth to light by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Have a dark case you want us to investigate? Leave a comment below. In November of 1892, the Everhart sisters were officially charged with 37 counts of murder, though investigators suspected the number could be well over 90. The trial drew national headlines, and crowds lined up outside the Kansas City courthouse just to catch a glimpse of the infamous madams. Inside the courtroom, Clara was cold, calculating, and composed. Dressed in all black with lace gloves, she refused to speak unless directly addressed. Louise, on the other hand, was disheveled, whispering incoherently and often sobbing in her seat. Photo of a courtroom, newspaper sketches, fabricated headlines like "Evil in Petticoats" or "Madams of Murder Face Justice." The sisters were represented by high society lawyers, paid for by mysterious donors who were never publicly named. Some believed influential clients were trying to keep their names out of the scandal. Clara's defense: she denied everything, claiming the brothel was a refuge for troubled women, and that any deaths were natural tragedies. But Louise cracked under pressure. On the 9th day of the trial, she stood and screamed in open court. Voice actor Louise: "We did it. They begged us for mercy," and she laughed. She laughed at their cries. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Louise was immediately removed, and her mental state was questioned. Clara remained stone-faced. Chapter 14. The Cover-Ups and Missing Files. 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 48 minutes and 0 seconds during the investigation. Over 120 pages of police records mysteriously disappeared. Witnesses were intimidated, and 2 key informants, a local undertaker and a former constable, died under strange circumstances before they could testify. Many believe a powerful network of businessmen, politicians, and lawmen had deep ties to the Violet Lantern and were desperate to bury the story. Conspiracy expert voiceover: there are entire folders missing from the county archives, names blacked out, testimonies that simply vanish. This wasn't sloppy police work, it was a deliberate operation to shield the wealthy. 2. This day, the full client ledger of the Violet Lantern has never been found. Chapter 15. Occult Connections. 48 minutes and 0 seconds to 51 minutes and 0 seconds. Among the most controversial parts of the Everhart case was the claim that the sisters were part of a secret occult circle, tied to the 19th century spiritualism movement. In Louise's final weeks in prison, she reportedly told her cellmate that Clara spoke to spirits and saw visions of red-eyed women in her dreams. Guards at the time claimed to hear chants at night coming from Clara's cell. In one chilling letter, Louise wrote, "Voice actor Louise, she told me the dead aren't gone. They're underneath us, all around us. They whisper when the candles go out." These allegations were never proven, but rumors fueled an explosion of ghost stories and urban legends that continue today. Chapter 16. Deaths in Custody. 51 minutes and 0 seconds to 53 minutes and 0 seconds. Louise Everhart died in prison in 1898 from tuberculosis. Though her autopsy revealed signs of internal trauma and possible poisoning, the official cause of death was listed as complications of consumption, but some suspect she was silenced. Clara lived in solitary confinement until her death in 1921. According to her final warden, Clara died peacefully in her sleep. But here's the twist. Her last words reportedly were, "Voice actor Clara, tell them I regret nothing. I saved them from worse men." Clara was buried in an unmarked grave in the Potter's Field Cemetery. No ceremony, no family, and no visitors. Chapter 17. The Curse of the Violet Lantern. 53 minutes and 0 seconds to 56 minutes and 0 seconds. Over the decades, many who investigated or profited from the Violet Lantern suffered mysterious fates. The judge who presided over the case died in a fire 2 years later. The newspaper editor who published the exposé drowned under suspicious circumstances. Even the building that replaced the brothel, a textile factory, burned to the ground in 1932 with all 12 workers inside. Some locals claim the Everhart sisters cursed the land. Others believe the spirits of the murdered women still seek justice. In 1974, a paranormal team investigating the area captured what they believed to be a woman's scream recorded at 2:17 a.m. from beneath the pavement. Chapter 18, Loose Ends, 56 minutes and 0 seconds to 59 minutes and 0 seconds to this day. Over 50 women believed to have worked at the Violet Lantern remain missing, their bodies never found, their families never given closure. The Missouri Historical Society lists the case as one of the top unsolved mass murders in American history, yet few know their names. Every so often, an old diary, a cracked photo, or a hidden letter surfaces, whispering new clues, new voices from the past, each one reminding us of the darkness hidden in plain sight. Chapter 19, Legacy, 59 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 1 minute and 0 seconds. The Everhart sisters faded from textbooks, censored from official records, but history remembers them not as victims of circumstance or misunderstood women, but as architects of suffering and mistresses of manipulation. Their story is not just one of murder, it's a warning that unchecked power, even in silks and smiles, can rot into unimaginable evil. Final call to action: 1 hour 1 minute and 0 seconds to 1 hour 2 minutes and 0 seconds. If you found this story as haunting as we did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell for more chilling deep dives into forgotten crimes, lost history, and the ghosts left behind. Let us know in the comments, do you think Clara Everhart was a sociopath, or did something darker drive her to kill? Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay in the light. Most believed Eleanor Graves, the teenage girl whose escape exposed the Everhart murders, died in 1895 of influenza. But new evidence suggests otherwise. Overlay yellowed letter, dated 1923, signed with initials e.g. ran again, changed names again, they still watch. Some of the clients weren't human, you know, they wore masks that didn't blink. That letter was discovered inside a church wall in 1987 during renovations. The handwriting matches Eleanor's journal entries from the 1892 case files. But what's more disturbing is the envelope. It was addressed to Clara Everhart long after her death. Did Eleanor fake her death and live in hiding for decades? Was she trying to warn the world that the Everhart's crimes didn't end with the trial? Chapter 21, The Everhart Files, Lost Audio Tapes, 1 hour 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 9 minutes and 0 seconds. In 1971, a true crime researcher named Marian Holtz visited the prison where Clara was held. She interviewed a former guard who had worked the night shift from 1915 to 1920. Marian recorded their chilling conversation on reel-to-reel tape. Insert grainy audio. Recreation guard. She never slept, sat in her cell all night, humming something in German, said the dead girls braided her hair when no one was looking. That tape went missing from Marian's archives until 2019, when her grandson found it in a mislabeled box in an attic in rural Nebraska. We reached out to audio forensics specialists who confirmed that tape had not been edited. Chapter 22, Autopsy Reports and Anatomical Horrors, 1 hour 9 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 13 minutes and 0 seconds. The women's bodies recovered from the brothel's basement were badly decomposed, but 3 showed disturbing consistencies: small incisions behind the ear, clean removal of teeth, and stitched lips. One coroner, Dr. Wycliffe Jenkins, wrote in a private letter, voice actor Dr. Jenkins, "This is not just murder. This is mutilation ritualized. I dare not speculate on the purpose." His report was dismissed by city officials. Shortly after, Dr. Jenkins left Kansas City and was never heard from again. Chapter 23, The Remains of Room 7, 1 hour 13 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 17 minutes and 0 seconds. In 2003, an underground utility crew drilling near 8th Street uncovered what appeared to be a sealed bricked-over room 15 feet below street level, directly under the site of the original Violet Lantern. Inside was a rusted bed frame, shackles bolted to the wall, and a child's porcelain doll with one eye removed. Historians now believe this was Room 7, a location frequently mentioned in Clara's journal. In one entry she wrote, "Voice actor Clara, Room 7 sees the truth no one else wants. The girls know not to scream there." The walls, remember. The site was quickly resealed by city officials due to safety hazards, but conspiracy theorists argue it was another cover-up to hide the final proof. Chapter 24, Clients named and erased, 1 hour 17 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 21 minutes and 0 seconds. According to unofficial copies of the Everhart ledger recovered in 1947, some of the clients were far more powerful than once believed. Among them, a Missouri state senator, a railroad tycoon from Chicago, and a man listed only as Judge X, who allegedly presided over 12 capital cases in the region. expert voice historian. That ledger vanished during FBI transportation. From Kansas City to D.C., some think it was intercepted and destroyed to protect names that still echo in American politics today. We tried filing a Freedom of Information Act request for related documents. We were denied due to national interest. Chapter 25. The Lost Documentary, 1 hour 21 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 24 minutes and 0 seconds. In 1994, independent filmmaker Lorraine Reeves produced a 40-minute documentary on the Everhart case. It was shown once at a small film festival in Detroit and then banned after a fire destroyed the film vault containing the original footage. Only a 2-minute bootleg VHS clip remains, showing a reenactment of Louise speaking to the mirror, muttering names backwards. Some claim the footage causes vertigo and hallucinations. Is it paranoia, or did the sisters leave behind something that still disturbs reality? Chapter 26. The Final Grave, 1 hour 24 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 27 minutes and 0 seconds. The macabre history of the Everhart Sisters, the madams who murdered over 90 women in their brothel in 2021. A private excavation team funded by a dark history podcast uncovered an unmarked mass grave just 30 miles from Kansas City. Forensic analysis showed the remains of at least 47 women, aged 14 to 28, buried together. One of them wore a necklace with a tiny violet pendant. Narrator, quiet, somber tone. Clara once wrote, "I plant violets so no one looks beneath." Epilogue, the truth still buried, 1 hour 27 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 30 minutes and 0 seconds. This story is not just about two madams and the brothel they ran. It's about corruption, forgotten women, missing voices, and history rewritten by those in power. How many more Eleanor Graves are out there, silenced, erased, buried beneath brick and lie? The Everhart sisters are long dead, but their echo remains. Somewhere, out there, the walls still remember. Roll credits and CTA 1 hour 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 31 minutes and 30 seconds. Music, slow piano or cello. Archival photos fading to black. Narrator, final words. If you're still watching, thank you for remembering the women they tried to erase. Subscribe to Dark History, files to help us continue giving voice to the lost. And if you know of any forgotten corners of history that deserve light, leave a comment below.